All right. We have got a banger of a series here, and it is a rematch from last season's GSL. Was it the semi-finals? I think it was the semi-finals, wasn't it? It wasn't the grand finals, I don't think. Was it? I remember it was a best of 7 between these two. Anyway, in the bottom left, it is Dark. And in the bottom right, it's Trap. It's going to be opening with an early probe to block the expansion. So he's already told to patrol that. Now, what was so exciting about this map, this is from the season finals, by the way, of course, guys, is in GSL, Dark has just been unstoppable. He's been on a tear. He always makes crazy comebacks. He mixes in wild all-ins, strange, crazy build orders. But he ran into Trap, and we were like, okay, you've met your match. Trap is the best Protoss. He's got the best late game in the world. And honestly, you're not going to be able to take him down, Dark. Dark here going for his trademark 18 hatch at 55 seconds. This is a very inefficient build order. Don't do this at home, guys. And it's just because he's a little too lazy to just move his Overlord slightly north or send his drone down a little early. For some reason, Dark enjoys this build order. We're still not sure. I think he just likes having 16 on minerals. It does delay things. It does delay things a little bit. His queens aren't quite synced up and so on, but I've talked to a lot of the pro Zergs, and even the Korean ones all agree this is an inefficient opening. But they also are in awe of Dark's ability to win no matter what. So, anyways, Dark basically played really good. Trap got himself in good positions, though, continually in that series in GSL. And then proceeded to make terrible attacks repeatedly onto creep and get surrounded. Like, terrible attacks. Like, Trap was like, cool, I'm getting a 4 base. I'm transitioning into disruptors. Let's attack with some Stalker Sentry into a Ravagerling Bane surround. And like Dark's there, like, you know, I only have Roaches, Lings, and Banes. I have no late game transition, and I'm on 65 workers. Trap's like, I know, I've seen that. I've been winning this game. All I need to do is go to the late game, which I don't think anybody thinks you can contest me in. You can beat Parting in late game, Dark. I don't think you can beat me there. And then Trap basically just, you could tell, was maybe a bit nervous, a bit excited, wanting to get yet another grand finals attempt. And he just kind of, it wasn't a throw. It was just he didn't play to his strengths. It was one of those matches where we were like, man, come on, stop throwing your army away and just losing the game. You're putting Dark in a position where he doesn't have a good late game transition. He's stuck on a mid-game army that he needs to trade with, and then you're giving him not just a trade, but a crushing game-winning fight every time. So it was a really weird series from Trap, and that's why I'm interested to see a month down the track, a month and a half down the track. However, it's been about a month and a half, I think. How does Trap change? And also, does Trap play better in an online setting? Because I gotta say, Trap is the most consistent Korean in these season finals. Even though they're playing low ping, I think he's a little more comfortable playing on his home setup. Whereas it seems like Dark and these other guys almost level up when they're playing at GSL on that uncomfortable setup where most people play just a little worse because they've got an audience, they're commentators, there's lights, there's cameras. It's just a little bit different. Most people, they fight just a little bit weaker than they might normally in that scenario. Dark stats, a few of these other guys seem to always play better there, whereas it does seem like Trap gets a bit nervous in those big matches. Whereas season finals, I mean, he's been winning them. He's been getting second places over the last 2 years of the online circuit. I mean, dude, Trap has been just looking so good in the online format. So we'll see what he can bring. It's going to be just a very standard passive Void Ray into Oracle opening. He's going to take a 3rd base. Why haven't you talked about the openings, Pig? It's the most standard normie stuff that we've ever seen. First deviation in early Evo Chamber from Dark. Now, if this was the old days, I'd say melee for Hydra Bane. But, and this could still be melee just for like Ravager Ling Bane or Mass Ling Bane, Corruptor, Ling Bane Muta. There's a lot of things it could be. But there's also a part of me that's like, what if it's the Carapace style? So, okay, it's melee. All right, it's not the Carapace. We don't need to talk about that too much then. The Carapace style's really funny because it's like, I'm going to make my queen super tanky versus Void Rays and Zealots. And I'm like, this is so weird. But it is going to be a Ling Bane focus. I've talked a lot about in Bronze to GM how the easier way to play against SKYTOSS and Void Ray defensive styles is usually just kind of heavy Zergling. Some queens for defense early, but then going up into other stuff. Now, he's only on 5 queens. Oh, is Dark going to do his attack? it would be too late. He's going above 60 drones. Often Dark stops at 45 to 50 drones, makes about 50 Zerglings, and does a super random Ling Bane attack on the natural and the third of the opponent. He's not going for it this game, but he's also not building more Queens or Aspire or Gases. So Dark here is doing Dark things. Is he going to pick a direction? His lair is incredibly late. Okay, he's just going to play Mega Macro Ling Bane, guys. But why only with 5 Queens? Does he think he's going... I think he thinks Trap's going ground? Trap's gone 2 Stargate, though. This Zergling is going to see that there's almost no units around. No sentries there or anything. Yeah, he queues up 2 more Queens. Good choice. I'm like, dude, 5 Queens is very low on the Queens. I do like that he skipped the Spore on the 3rd base and he's just kept his Queens there. Hasn't lost many drones, but he's got to make sure he leaves Queens there. Oracle's going to come back in, finds him a little out of position with one of those Queens. Grabs one, gets on out. Now, is there a ground transition from here? It doesn't look like it, guys. Trap's playing full SKYTOSS. I imagine you're going to need disruptors if it's heavy Queen from Dark. Dark does not really have a crazy work account yet, considering it's 6 minutes in and he doesn't have that many Queens. He's building roaches. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no! Dude, he needs that 4th hatch. He needs that 4th hatch. He's almost supply blocked as well, though. Oh, this is a bummer. Nice transfuse comes in. Doesn't want to lose that Queen. Nice trade here for Trap. Few hit points for a hatchery cancel on the 4th and that. Lings are thinking about coming in. They can't find anything yet. 3rd Stargate and Fleet Beacon on the way. For such a passive build, I don't think Dark's feeling good about having that 4th. Droning that 4th base up is super crucial here. He does build a macro hatch, which is a good idea because his production's going to be kind of sucky. He's still building roaches right now. Dark is massively misreading this game. Roaches are the last thing he should be building. Dark scouting very poor this map. Still doesn't have a Spore. He's at 8 Queens. He's building 3 more. I think he's going to do a Queen Ravager Bane push. Expect Bane speed to start up in the near future. Ooh, he gets 6 probes with a Baneling Waddle. Sorry, guys, only caught the tail end of that. Does that while his Lings distract on the south. He's got some Roaches coming forward. Those Void Rays actually need to get back, but he's got 3 Void Rays there, so... Dark, I mean, he's going to go Nidus Roach Queen off over 70... Okay, guys, just a reminder, there's a reason why the Europeans call Dark the Cave Bob Zerg. He plays a Cave Bob style. What's Cave Bob? Cave Bob is basically if you took SpongeBob SquarePants and you gave it so much acid that it was literally brain-meltingly brain damaged. And then that's Dark's early game with a Cave Bob style. It's just, it makes no sense, and then he just wins anyway. I don't know what this is. What are we looking at? He's against mass air and he's massing Ravagers. This makes no sense, but Dark has so often, so many times beat SkyToss with Ravagers. So I don't want to doubt it. I just want to say, if this was anyone else but Dark, I'd be saying, this is objectively terrible play. What are you doing right now? Why are you massing Ravagers versus pure SkyToss? And I think it's just to basically force the Void Rays and the Carriers to constantly dodge Biles while his Queens kill everything. He can also kill Batteries and Cannons. He's going to go Infestation Pit, ranged upgrade. Still no Carapace, so he's still focusing on melee, but he hasn't achieved anything with his Zerglings yet. It's very important he starts rolling Banelings into these mineral lands. So it's just Queens and Ravagers and Lings and Banes. Now, this is not a composition that scales well into the late game, but remember, Trap, playing pure SkyToss, only has +1 air weapons. It's so important to rush +2 air weapons and +3 with this style. Prioritizing 5 Stargates over +2 is a big mistake for Trap. He's going to go in the main, pick off some Queens. The Void Rays. Oh, he's going for a Chad Ray snipe. Lingbane Ravager is coming in on his base. He actually kills some Queens here, and he's going to go for the Evo Chamber, gets rid of the +1. He might fight these Queens. That hatchery in the north goes down at the same time. Ling Ravager there. Baneling's rolling in. Oh my god, shit's hitting the fan on every single side. A whole mineral line goes down. That base is getting ransacked, but the Queens are straight up losing to the Queen Void Ray. And Dark has no anti-air. Dark has no anti-air. Let me pause 10 seconds before, guys. His Queens lose the fight. I think he missed transfuses here because he was microing elsewhere. Yeah, he missed a lot of transfuses and he had no spores. And he just gets overwhelmed by Void Ray Carrier. And then the Void Rays are going to snipe his 4th and his 5th. That was a StarCraft game, guys. That was a StarCraft game. All right, a bit of a bizarre game there. Trap just finding a carrier Void Ray poke timing and accidentally wins the game with it. He's in the bottom left of Oxide now. Dark in the top right. I do wonder why Dark was building roaches so early in that game. Don't get me wrong, he normally has a magical way of winning with just Ravagers and Queens, but you do need the Ravagers there to bile down the Void Rays so they can't just keep attacking. And I think just getting surprised by that attack in his main, his Queens kind of funneling up the choke was a bit of a problem. It was a bizarre matchup, and don't get me wrong, Dark often wins those games. But interesting as well to see Trap play pure SKYTOSS. Not exactly what I was expecting. Just kind of saying, I'm just going to have enough to overwhelm your Queens. And I think if you saw Dark, as I said, like the Carapace style is better if you're fighting SKYTOSS with Queens. If you get like +2 Carapace, like your Queens are mega tanky. They don't really die to Interceptors very much. Obviously, it depends on their attack upgrades as well, but Dark going to go take his third base. Didn't try to bring another drone down. He could have got his natural up if he really wanted to. But Dark very happy to take the 18 hatch at 1 minute and 1 second this time around. So Dark here, I honestly, when I look at Dark's openings, I think this guy hasn't played the game in 5 years and doesn't practice. And then I watch his mid to late game and I think this guy is a god who practices more than everybody else. So I don't know what that tells me. I know he's incredible at the game. I just can't get over how late that hatchery is. Like, almost every Protoss blocks. I'll tell you guys, so just to explain for anyone who's not a Zerg or a Protoss player, normally Zergs send their drone down at 15, 16 supply, 150 minerals, maybe even 100 or even 80 minerals. So that if they see the probe, they go straight to the third and they can start it on time. Dark, though, sends his drone down to barely get there as he hits 300 minerals and goes, oh, there's a probe here, shit. And then he just queues up 2 to 3 more drones while walking to the third base. So you can see his pool's done. He's starting Ling speed. He can't even afford a queen right now, and that's actually on purpose because he's gone the quick third hatch. So he wants to only build a queen from the third base to start, and he's going to try and delay this queen in the main. Notice he doesn't build an overlord until about probably earliest 25, 26, but maybe as late as 27 or 28 supply. Now the overlord is going to come on in. Stargate is on the way in the main. I wouldn't mind Dark just poking in and trying to scout that, but of course it's a bit risky if there's a stalker on the way. He already saw that the warp gate wasn't spinning, so he's assuming that it's Stargate play based off that scout. And he might just try to run his overlord all the way home potentially, but no, he wants to see the adepts popping. Confirm if those adepts come across the map, see if his Zerglings can get on in. So if he sees that adept shade finish, Trap doing a poor job of hiding it. But actually, he mind gamed with the shade. Very cute. So Dark saw the shade finish. He thought the adept shaded there, so he's tried to come in with his lings, but the adept actually hid over here and intercepted the lings. Very cute play, very cute. The adept does get 1 Zergling kill. 1 Zergling will get in though. See that it's a Void Ray opening. So very similar opening once again for Trap. Now, it's interesting to see the same opening for Trap. Does he have different branches, or does he just try to do the same style over and over again? We're looking, does he deny scouting with Void Rays, swap into ground? Deny scouting with Void Rays, do the exact same thing. He's already got the second gateway in the wall. That's just to stop speedlings getting in, of course. And up to just 2 queens at home, but 2 more building. Early creep tumor is going to start getting out front and connecting. Probably wants to get a tumor connecting this and down here at some point. And the Void Ray does get 1 Overlord kill to start. Oracle behind it. Moves out to take a third with 2 Adepts. Notice here, Trap keeping those Adepts close to the mineral line where he can protect them. So very solid play so far. Now, once again, 2 Spores go down. 1 in the main, 1 in the third. And he's going to try and keep extra Queens towards the natural to defend. Both Queens regenerate and Void Ray's shields regenerate. So a little bit of damage doesn't matter to each other this early on. Oracle's coming in behind the third. Spores there, but these drones on the left are exposed. Dark, of course, not having any Overlord spotters out there, as they'd be easy pickings for a Void Ray. Oracle gets 1. And, ooh, takes a bit of damage. Not the best from Trap. Third base is on the way behind it, and it is going to be a Twilight Council. Very quick Glaives 4 gate. So, a very different follow-up. Dark is going to need those Roaches. Once again, 435 goes for Lair, Roach Warren, and an Evo Chamber. That's also set up that he could do an emergency wall against the Shade, but he'll have to kill the Tumor, if that's the case. Now, he's got some great creep spread, which will give him a good start against the Adepts. And interesting, +1 air weapons. Is this Glaive Adept back into SKYTOSS? Or is that just to fake it out? So if the Zerglings come in, they see an upgrade, and they go, ooh, you're playing SKYTOSS. Because a lot of the time you'll poke up, and if as the Zerg player you see that Cybercore spinning, and Warp Gate's already done, you know he's making air upgrades. So far, this looks identical to the last game, and look at that. The Oracle comes in. Yeah, the Zergling, sorry, comes in, sees that spinning, and is like, oh, you're playing air. So he might skimp on roaches. He's already built 4 because he wasn't sure what was happening. Zergling goes down, Adepts are coming out. He's got to build more roaches. Does he realize what's up? Dark! I don't know if he realizes. He might think that's just 2 Adepts. He's not building more roaches. Of course, he's supply blocked. More roaches are on the way. A bad time to be supply blocked. He's only got 4 roaches, 6 queens, 13 Zerglings, 15 Adepts cascading across this map here. And of course, he's got 4 Adepts on the right, 8 on the left right now. 15 in total. Did he leave some at home? He's left 1 in the wall. Adepts coming forward to fight here. They do well verse the Lings, not so well verse the Roaches, but there's not that many Roaches. Great wall off there from Dark, stopping the shade in. It's a really good defense so far. He's going to recall those. Oof. Takes quite a lot of damage, though. These Adepts not really finding anything. I mean, it stopped him from continuing his tech, but that is interesting. And behind it, 3 Stargate Void Ray. Okay, so Trap feels like Dark does not have the answers. And you know what, guys? SKYTOSS is a good way of trying to force the longer game here. I like that he mixed up the opening. He didn't really find the damage, but it slowed down the droning. I think it's acceptable, especially since he didn't throw his Adepts away, so we can keep up a little bit of pressure. And it's going to be Hydras. Okay, so it looks like maybe just a Roach Hydra Lurker play, something like that. Trap, of course, just faking with those shades. Forge goes down. That's going to allow him to build some cannons. Help him defend an onslaught. Queen Hydra Nidus, a very powerful way of killing a SKYTOSS player. Of course, finding the spotting unit for the Nidus. Completely different story. Changeling does get in. I'm sure he'll be aware of that, though. Oh, he lets 2 of those Adepts finish. He gets 1 drone, 2 drones. And that's all. 2 Adepts for 2 drones. Not fantastic. Stasis Trap just being annoying, not really causing any real damage. And he goes double Robo. Wait, what the hell? Is he gonna go Disruptors? I think he's seen the Roach Hydra and he wants Disruptors to deal with that. Okay, cool. And Charge. Oh, I guess he's got 4 gateways already, so he's kind of going... I mean, this seems like a lot of tech for Trap. Void Rays, Zealots, very slow Disruptor transition. I don't know about that. I guess the one thing that's going for it is this is a pretty damn slow 4th base going down after 6:30. And he's making a ton of Hydras as Dark off a pretty weak work account. No Infestation Pit, no Hive, no Lurker Den. Is he doing a Roach Hydra all-in? Is Dark playing Bronze to GM? Dark's playing Bronze to GM strategies. I like it. I mean, if this can work at this level, it'll be impressive. The Oracle, has he seen the move out? He doesn't have any cannons on the 3rd. Oh, Trap. Oh, he goes for the snipe. He's making a Robo Bay, but that did not go down the moment the Robo finished, guys. His Disruptors are going to be very late in this game. He's trying to build cannons. They're not ready yet. He's warping in Stalkers. Those Roaches, if they focus the cannons, anything to delay those cannons is huge. He's got to shove. He's got to shove now. Mass Roach Hydra coming across the map. Dark is actually not even going to go for the base. He's going to go up the guts in between the expansions for the wide open area. I think he could jump on that base and just win the game. Honestly, right now, Trap is caught with his pants down with no units, and Dark missing a huge opportunity. This is an all-in. Dark, you can't go for the 4th. You've got to win the game right now. Dark not showing the urgency he needs to. He needs to get in there and do critical damage right now. He's wasting time on this 4th base. He does not have a next step. He's adding Mass Roach. He's letting... and he doesn't have any scouting, so I understand. He's hesitant. This is a trash army. There's no charge. There's no Disruptors. Dark is dilly-dallying for no reason right now, and now he's doing the latest Hive transition of all time. Dark, you're playing Trap. You can't cave bob this shit, man. He's too good. This is not a good way of playing. He had the killing timing there. He saw the cannons weren't ready. He could have pushed the natural or the 3rd. Instead, he just kills the 4th and just chills. I mean, he can still play it out, but his work account sucks. He lost his 4th. He doesn't have gas there. He needs to show more urgency. Now that he's let a bunch of Stalkers and cannons warp in, he's going to go in, clicks the overcharge. Can he find the damage? As long as those Disruptors don't land big hits, he might be able to just crash through with the numbers. Watch out for the Disruptors. Watch out for the Disruptors. Okay, 2 Hydras for one of them. But, dude, I think the batteries might have just done too much. These Void Rays survived way too long. And Dark, He hesitates for a solid minute and a half, says, I'll let you get to your feet, build your defenses, and then I'll attack. A very bad attack timing from Dark. Committing to a 3-base Roach all-in, loses the 4th, forces him more all-in, but he does not read the situation correctly. Pauses, hesitates, playing without knowledge of what was going on. He had the Roaches, he had a Changeling ahead of the army, he had 2 spotting units that should have given him a little bit more feeling, but it feels like Dark maybe didn't have his eyes in the right place at the right time, maybe missed this information that we see. We get a bird's eye view, so we can see, oh, double Robo is really late, Robo Bay is really late, now's your timing. He doesn't know that, right? Yeah, he sees a few Void Rays and Adepts, not a very good army. Could he have pushed on it harder earlier? Absolutely. If he got in there pre-cannon, that I'm pretty certain is a huge problem for Trap. Trap was playing an overly tech-heavy style, going in too many different directions. Did no damage with the Adepts. Oh, dangerous attack for Dark here. Oh, incredibly dangerous attack. He's going to try and deny the 4th one more time. Could work out. If he loses his Hive, though, it's game. Oh, big Disruptor shot. Okay, the lair. It's actually not even upgrading to a Hive just yet, apparently. Ooh, Roaches are in the base, though. Disruptors in the open. He's got to click those Disruptors. Spready, 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 spready. Oh my god, I'm in decent spreadies, but big balls for Trap still landing. That being said, 8 probes or 12 probes do go down. He loses 8 drones on the backside of this, but still no Hive. It's just starting now. Dark does drag Trap into the mud, and you know what, guys? He's done enough damage. As much as he hesitated and missed what would have been a free win, because Trap was just dancing around too much on triple Stargate, Flux Veins, Void Rays, off Glaive Adepts that did no damage, into 4-gate charge, super delayed double Robo. This is objectively Trap being a little bit silly with his play. The fact that Dark let him even survive this long, big mistake. That being said, Dark's got 74 workers. He's got gas mining on the 4th. I'd love to see him take a 5th because he needs Vipers, Lurkers, very gas-heavy units. But he's still got map dominance with this army. He's got the economy lead. Trap can't get a 4th base. Trap's like, oh, I've got 2 carriers. But yeah, what? They've got +1, +2 carapaces ahead of them. Uh-oh. Spready. Ow. All right, Dark needs an Overseer. Needs to keep this Observer Vision back. And if he can just get a few Vipers out, I think he should be able to win. He's just very gas-starved. He's on almost pure Hydra right now. Vipers are the most important unit. There's no Templar Archive started, which means no feedback. That was just a stasis trap expiring there. So Trap is pretty screwed right now, but he's only down 25 army supply. Disruptors can keep you alive. So Hive's done. Dark is not put back on gas in the main. He's only now taking a 5th. Remember I said gas is the most important thing in Vipers? He's making Lurker upgrades, 2nd Evo chamber, so he wants to add Lurkers to kind of zone out the ground army a bit. But because he's already got Disruptors, you need Vipers as well to back that up. No Vipers on the way. Still not mining that gas in the main base. This is a big problem. Big problem for Dark. There we go. 2 Vipers start up. Every second that goes by is giving him time to get out High Templar. A little Roach run by pokes in. There's no probes there. He's just trading out Roaches to get rid of supply right now, I think. Yeah, run him in. Kill probes. Kill anything you can. Why not? Gas is going down in the 5th base. Most important thing for Dark right now. He's going to be on 2-2 upgrades soon. It's a big push. His Vipers aren't ready. He needs that energy. As long as he spreads in a giant arc, he might be able to take this, but he's a bit clumped right now. He's got a kite against the first Disruptors. Pull back, wait for the Vipers. Pull back, wait for the Vipers. Don't fight pre-Viper, because he's got the counter to the Disruptors. He doesn't need to fight right now. Good spready, good spready. Don't get me wrong, good spready. The Roaches and Lings also get on top of the Disruptors a little bit. Where are those Vipers? Oh, he hasn't sucked energy yet. Oh, Dark, he's got to suck energy, man. They should have already been at like 120, 130 energy by now. He's missing timing. He's letting Trap max out. Now Trap, he's got a Templar Archives. He can make High Templar for feedback now, and he's also just got so many power units. It's going to be hard to fight this with Roach Hydra Lurker. Dark here is still on a bit of an early mid-game comp. He's only got a few Lurkers. They're going to go down very quickly to the Disruptors. Oh, man, imagine if he had Vipers to get rid of some carriers or some of those Disruptors in the first skirmish. But now he's lost a lot of his important units, and it looks like he's going to get overrun in a game where Dark had every opportunity to win this map, but Trap just hung in there. I mean, he made dangerous tech switches, but he survived them somehow. And oh, big balls in the middle of the Hydras. And, oh man, the Vipers are finally here. The army's already gone. He cancels a few Disruptor shots. He doesn't have enough for all of them. One of the Vipers runs into its death. The nice Lynx around on the ground army. Oh, does he have enough to clear the Interceptors? 16, 14 Interceptors. 14 interceptors. He recalls the disruptors. Those carriers in the open. If he can kill them, that'd be huge. There's a zealot there that's got 7 worker kills. God damn. I mean, the economy of Dark can't really do much here. Ling's getting a big surround. He's got to get on top of these carriers. But their interceptor count's regrowing. The Hydra's unable to catch up. Dark wants them so badly. Trap messing up really bad with his micro by throwing interceptors here way too early. He should have been pulling further back, I think, because he loses all of his interceptors there before the next big fight really starts. That being said, Archons save the disruptors. Those 2 Archons come in clutch, keep the disruptors alive. Dark has to back off, and that is a big problem for him. Trap is going to send Zealot run-bys. He's trying to get this base up. He's only got +1 air weapons still, and he's actually saying, you know what? These carriers are enough of a problem for you. I'm going to focus mostly on disruptors. He'll add 1 more carrier, but he's on a very tight budget right now. And whoever gets another expansion up is probably going to be in a good spot. Dark definitely hurting for economy a little bit more because those interceptors are very cheap units. Hydra's very expensive, and he's going to need to, I think, power out another round or 2 of drones. He's going Hydra Viper right now. Honestly, I would want to have 4 Vipers. Losing the Vipers in the previous fight is a disaster. And once again, I think Dark is not showing enough urgency in getting those Vipers out. There has been no attempt to get feedback up. It's just been momentum from Trap. And Dark not having that 1 unit that would just rip the momentum away from Trap. Imagine if he comes over here and abducts 2 carriers right now. That's a game-ending maneuver. But he's spent all of his gas on Lurkers as the priority. Lurkers are a soft counter to Disruptors, you could say. In that, like, you know, you can micro around them, but he loses a 5th base, loses some units to Disruptors. Where are those Vipers? They're not gathering energy again! Dark! Come on, man! You should win this game. Okay, let me see. If the Lurkers... Oh, they zoned him out. He can get the 4th. Wait, no, there's Disruptors there. Uh-oh. Okay, his Lings see the Disruptors. That's very good. Dark almost sandwiched himself because he thought, oh, I can dive on the base. Luckily, his Zergling spotted that. Trap here. He's got a rando Calrissian carrier flying across the map. Thankfully, he does get a direct order to turn around. He does decide to follow it. Good job. Captain Rando likes throwing his life away. Don't do that, man. 2 more carriers on the way. Disruptors as well. It's mass carrier disruptor here. Trap is going to have more balls and more carriers than you could possibly abduct in a lifetime. You know what the counter to this is, guys? 5 full energy Vipers and abducting every single disruptor. It sounds stupid, but he's just... 2 is not going to cut it. Trap said, you know what? Dark doesn't make enough Vipers. If I just make so many balls, like, you can yank on 2 of them. You can't yank them all off, mate. I've got more balls than you've ever seen, mate. My balls are big and juicy. They're filled to the brim with purification novas. Dark survived. He's stabilized. I really think he's got to grow that Viper count. Problem, High Templar now coming in to zone out. He's going to add Psystorm, Gravitic boosters, so he's going to get Observer speed. There's no creep or anything like that. Dark has got no real map vision or control. I wouldn't mind a cheeky Lurker run by on these edge bases. There's not many cannons, maybe some Lurker drops. I think it's time for Dark to kind of... He's got to get out there and start picking units off on the maps, respreading creep, and he's got to like pick off units, kill them, disengage, get more energy. He's got to rinse and repeat like that. Now, I wouldn't count Dark out yet, even though his obviously economy is trash as his creep spread. Because he's so good in these long, slow games. Oh, man. And these observers are getting way too much forward vision. He's got to be sniping these. This is what I'm saying. He's got to get out there and fight for map control a bit. Good attack here for Trap. Dude, Storm's done as well. And these Lurkers are getting taken out. He's not dodging any of them. Oh, a feedback on one of the Vipers. And now that Lurker line's broken, the High Templar can just zone out with both feedback and Storm, not to mention the Disruptors. 1 Lurker does get on top of these High Templar, gets 1 abduct on a carrier, another carrier does get abducted. Man, that's what I'm talking about. Look at that, he kills 2 Archons as well. Those are the little engagements that Dark needs more of. He needs to rebuild those Vipers, but he's out of gas right now. He's on pure Hydra Lurker up against a big boy army. Watch out for the balls! Oh, no! Lurkers go flying. A bunch of red hit point, bruised ass Lurkers trying to get on top of this army. The Hydras, though, rallying into their death. Interceptor count very low at 15 interceptors right now, so the carrier is not really representing much of a threat at this point. I do think this is time for Trap to recall here. He's just trying to use these disruptors. Oh man, I mean, the fact that he's still doing okay here, this is insane. He brings in charge, takes out that disruptor. And well done by Trap. What an absolutely messy, scrappy, crazy game. I do think he was given a bit too much leeway in this map by Dark. Dark going all in on the Roach Hydra and not really respecting how all in he was, taking far too long to commit and then still throwing his army away after giving time for Trap to respond. I think that was... It was one of the most surprising decisions I've seen from Dark. Players normally very decisive, commits when he needs to, pulls back when he needs to. It was odd of him to kind of mass Roach Hydra on 3 base and to not commit. And I think he definitely... This is Trap playing a good game, but Dark has given him all the opportunities to get this 2-0 advantage. And Dark's got to be kicking himself for that, man. He made the game messy and scrappy, but there was no need for it to be such a bad situation for him to begin with. Trap with the 2-0 advantage. All right, straight on into the third map, and it's time to make the comeback train happen. Come on, mate. Representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming. And constantly sending unsolicited pictures of his unsolicited dragon pictures to people. This is Dark. His opponent in the bottom left, looking good so far. I'm not so sure about the execution of his Adept attack. Felt a little slow, and I think he should have dived harder and faster in that last game. This is Trap. A massive thank you to Orijax for the gifted subs. My lord, 10 of them. You're going to be getting some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bacon subs after this.
Robbie! I got Silicon Valley money, bitch! I got Silicon Valley bitch!
I'm never changing that alert. Just so anyone knows, come back 2024. You're on my stream. You're gonna be like, remember when you said you'd never change that alert, Pig? Well, you did change it, but I think we're gonna keep that one for a very, very long time. We accidentally flipped the scoreboard there. Sorry, guys. 2-0, obviously in Trap's favor. Forces that third base again. Let's check. When did that third go down, guys? 24 seconds ago. So 56 seconds. Slightly better than the last game for Dark. You know, I actually think Dark's suboptimal openings are fantastic practice. It means that whenever he's in a bad spot, he's so used to adapting to bad positions because he puts himself in a bad position every early game. So my big theory here is that Dark's whole suboptimal openings and kind of weirdly unoptimized early play is basically just so that he's comfortable in deep water. So he treats all of his play like practice, so that this is why Dark's so good from behind normally. It's just because he starts his games from behind, so it's all of his practice. So, I mean, some would argue you should do that in your practice and then not in the tournament and have a clean opening in the tournament and then, you know, not have to play from behind from the start. Dark would say, no, I'm a Chad gamer, I do it my way. Is the quick third hatch. So first queen starts on the third, and he drones, he builds 2 Zerglings from the third base. And when does this queen? He goes Ling speed, pulls 2 off gas. 25 Overlord. And is it 25 Queen? Or does he drone a bit more? Builds 2 more drones. Okay, so he's going to only queue up a Queen as that Overlord pops. Okay, cool. So I think we'll see that Queen queue up in a moment. So he goes 28 supply, second Queen from the main. You see he gets 150 minerals. Overlord pops, Queen starts. Very well timed out build order. This is a very advanced build order, very easy to screw up and end up worse off than just doing kind of 30 supply third base. But Dark has been doing this since the early days of Legacy. He's very good at pulling it off. Always prioritizes drones coming out of this base next to the minerals that they want to be mining from. So he doesn't have as many drones rallying all the way across. Now, this is a Void Ray opening. Trap here has a one-size-fits-all approach to this matchup. And this is a good idea because Dark has been known to do things like this 3-hatch opening, then skip queens, drop a Roach Warren, and just run like 6 roaches and some slowlings across the map. He does crazy stuff like that every now and then. And if you go like Oracle first, Twilight Council, sometimes you just die to it. Void Ray, of course, very safe opening, and that's a thick choke point. That's hard to get into. Void Ray going to find an Overlord kill here. Of course, Dark had already seen the Void Ray building, so no surprises there. Oracle's on the way. We haven't seen very active Adept play from Trap. Trap's been pretty passive, just using them to secure his third base guys. He's just kind of, wedges them, and he's so good at wedging them. A lot of players are really lazy, I find, with their Adepts. Let me through. Third Nexus goes down. And he's often just been going 1 Void Ray, 1 Oracle. Keep our eyes on that Stargate. Void Ray just hunting for any Overlord. So a lot of people send back a second Overlord from here and up here. I like that Trap hunts for that. I've been talking for a long time about how Protoss players more often should go check this area for Overlords, because a lot of players hide it there and then they morph Overseer in the corner and they come in for a scout. About, 6 minutes a lot of the time. But if you catch that Overlord, I mean, that's fantastic. It's really good damage. You're playing the greediest build of all time as Protoss, so the Zerg needs to match your greed. Any kills that you get is really important to slow them down. Nice Revelation to clear up some creep tumors there. You can see the worker count is actually ahead for Trap right now. Once again, quick Evo chamber, so I think we'll see a melee build one more time. I wonder if a Spire play tries to sneak its way in here. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Hasn't mixed one in yet. Oh, no. Oh, dude, where are your queens? Uh-oh. Well, Trap only gets 2-3 workers and takes a bit of damage. Could have been a little bit worse there, being caught with no queens in that natural. Random idle drone there. Dude, he's like, yeah, technically my job description is stand next to the mineral patches. It's what it says on the form. And I'm like, is this showing initiative within the Zerg organization, Barry? Is it? Is this showing initiative? Is this when you said, I am good at fulfilling tasks on my own, and, I show good initiative at solving problems without direction? Is that what that means? Technically, it says to just fucking stand here and do nothing, so I'm gonna do that for 3 weeks while picking up me full paycheck. Barry the drone, living the American Zerg dream. What a douchebag, man. It's like everyone's friggin' thing. It's like, can you not think for yourself? Oh shit, guys, Nidus Worm. Let's stop talking about Barry. Barry distracting me a little bit. Oh, he sees it. He sees the Nidus Worm. Great revelation from Trap. Now, he's chronoing voids. He's like, uh-oh. Circling there. Circling there. Ooh, it's gonna be behind the natural. Okay. He's gonna find that Zergling, but... Okay, so we're gonna have a 9 queen Ravagerling Nidus. Not the best launching point, but he will get on the natural. There's no cannons there just yet. Uh-oh. Let's go to Trap's vision. Immediately building cannons. He's panicking, guys. Splitting up his Void Rays. He's panicking. He's adding cannons on the natural, as he should. I mean, proper panic. Organized panic. A quick response there. Void Rays. He's making charge. He's only got 2 gateways. Charge ain't really gonna help him here. It's all about getting the cannons up. But we've seen Scarlet do it a lot. Mass biles, one-shotting cannons and batteries will allow the queens and the lings to push in. Ooh, tries to get a Ravager, doesn't quite take it out. Notice the biles just trying to kind of space out there. Uh-oh. Oh, he's got to use the corrosive biles. He loses a Ravager. Great focus fire from Trap. This is, of course, 6+1 Void Rays. Trying to just quickly focus down Ravagers and pull back. Oh, transfuse! Great micro by Dark. But I think he needs to keep rallying queens and maybe even spores. This is so many Void Rays. Big bile! Big bile lands, though. That's a big bile. There's too many cannons on the third. He can't bleed into that. This is the problem is Dark needs to start one-shotting cannons and batteries. But whenever he does that, it means that his queens could get overrun by these Void Rays. He needs to keep spreading corrosive biles. He lands another one. Ooh, this is such hard. I find this is impossible to micro. But Dark and Scarlet and a few others have shown me that you can win here as Zerg. I always feel like I'm dead if they get the cannons and batteries up on both base, because I can't micro the Ravagers properly. But they show really good Queen Ravager. Oh, another Ravager does go down. That brings it down to just 6 Ravagers, guys. It takes 7 to one-shot a cannon or a... Actually, no, it only takes 6. It takes 7 to one-shot a pylon. Cannon or a battery, only 6. So 6 can still one-shot a cannon or a battery. Takes 1 more to one-shot a pylon. Quick maths. Queens are still alive in good numbers, but there'll be another battery overcharge, guys. Battery overcharge is ready. There's so many cannons, and... Oh, no. 9... The Zealot's out. Zealot Adept counterattacks going across the map. Dark has to abandon ship and go home. Queen Roach needs to defend. I mean, he's up to 62 workers. And he did force a shitload of cannon battery that won't really help Protoss secure a 4th base. Nice transfuses. Good focus fire by Trap on the drones, but Trap should absolutely disengage. Trapped! You've been trapped, mother truckers! You can't leave! Coming here to fight my drones. Get out of here, dude. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. The hammer of Protoss! Run! Run your lair away, Dark! Queens, hurry! The Ravagers are trying to buy time. Okay, keeps the lair alive. The queens get here. Dude. Those Void Rays, if they're able to click on that lair for like 6 seconds, it is gone off the face of the map, and the tech for Dark is screwed. That Nidus does get shut down. I like the attempt. I love that there's a creep tumor there as well. And you can see Trap trying to do this. He really should keep trying to pop Niduses there. If he can deny this 4th for a while, Dark's okay in this game. I mean, actually, Dark's fourth, unable to get up. He's got to make his own fourth. He's making... Oh, he's making infestors. He's going to do a 1-1 queen infestor play. Oh, okay. I mean, obviously, infestors good for microbial in the late game. Good for fungaling infestors and just holding them in place for biles and queens to kill them. But he needs a fourth. Dark. You've only got 2.5 mineral lines. Dude, take a fourth and a fifth. Yeah, okay. Dark's going to expand now. Dude, he's got 14 queens, 9 infestors. I mean, the big thing he's afraid of, though, is a big firm set of Protoss Nads. 2 Nads getting chrono boosted at a time. Trap says there's something I'm missing. This composition doesn't feel manly enough. And I'm like, what do you mean, Trap? There's just something missing. I don't know what it is. Ah, there we go. Adds a firm set of balls, and suddenly he's confident to push across the map. Honestly, disruptors are an absolute nightmare. There is no counter for it for Dark. If those disruptors land, I mean, just 2 is not the end of the world, but more than that could ruin him. So Dark right now stuck on Roach Ravager, Queen Infestor. Queens and Infestors very bad at dodging the disruptors. And he's pumping them 2 at a time. Another double chrono. This is really timely tech for Trap. He's going to add +2 air weapons, +2 forge, plus flux veins as well, allowing those void rays to really zoom around the map. Hive Inspire, of course, Dark has shown he's one of the best players at using Broodlords to counter the disruptors, and then just using Mass Queen Infestor. He did that fantastically versus Parting. Parting looked lost at how to fight that, right? And we kept saying in that GSL match, Trap would know how to beat this. I think Trap could do it. And then Trap just kind of never got to that stage. So I'm really thinking this game actually looks very promising as one that'll take us to the ladder stage. And we're going to see, how do you answer this composition? I mean, can you get your disruptors in range of the queens and the infestors? Do you just quickly spread the void rays versus the fungal parasitic bomb? Or do you just dive, tank it on the face, and shift click down the broodlords with them? A bit of a corrosive bile disruptor now. Zealots on the right side. Uh-oh. Quick band-aids! Mom! Band-aid! Mom! Mom! That hatchery squealing there. I can just see Will Ferrell's face sticking out of that hatchery. Mom! Band-aids! So they do end up healing it up. Zealot's not able to find too much, but that does force Dark to split his army a little bit. We've got a Spire finishing in the back of the natural. Viper's coming in at a good timing. And double Spire transition is on the way, right? He's got Greater Spire. No, it's just the one. It's just the one Spire. Okay. Just Broodlords for now. He's got 2/2 upgrades, though. That'll be pretty good. Fungaloo! Ooh, he doesn't have Neural yet, guys. Keep that in mind. And it's very... And yeah, it doesn't lock them down, so you can't really force the Corrosive Bile to land. Oh, no! Big ball. Big ball lands. A big boy, big ball from Trap there. Ooh, another one comes in. Oh, the Void Rays are kind of spreading here. They don't want to get all fungled in one spot. Oh, uh-oh. So the great thing about Dark's army is if your opponent attacks into it, it's so hard to bust. It's so tanky. The problem with Dark's army is he can't... It's not mobile, and it can't really punish your opponent on the map. Like, you can't pick a fight. Dark's composition is you're the pikeman driving the haft of your pike into the ground, and you're waiting for the cavalryman to charge into you, right? You're not the one who, like, you don't charge at him and throw your pike at him. That not work. That not work. So Dark is very immobile. He does do a little roach counterattack, which is good, but he's kind of got to rely on Trap overextending into him. And dude, he's getting pushed back. Those disruptors zoning him out. Big parasitic bombs in the main. Did he kill the Vipers? He got one of them. The Void Rays take big damage. Oh man, the Fungal loses 2 Archons. 1 recalls out. The Disruptor though on the disengage. 1 Disruptor finishes the hatch. Ravagers. Dude, I'm telling you, Dark is the best player at beating SkyTOSS with Ravagers, but with so many balls on the ground, it's going to be tough. We've got a DT Shrine coming in as well here for Trap. Trap's up to 8 gateways. He's adding a few more. It's going to be 10 gateways on the way. 3 upgrades in Neuroparasite, though, and 2 more Vipers. So going to go up to 3 Vipers, 9 Infestors, 14 Queens, 17 Roaches, 10 Ravagers. Those 17 Roaches are the big question mark for me. And when I say question mark, I mean they're gutter trash units. They should not be used at this point in the game. Dark realizes that. Sends them all across the map for a backstab. Unfortunately for him, Trap, the sneaky fucker, comes along the edge of the map, kills his hive, and that is a straight up disaster. Dark needs to remake that hive right now. If he doesn't remake that, he's in trouble. Queens try to damage the Void Rays on the disengage, but Fuckvane says, no. we fuck and then we duck. That's exactly what the Void Rays say. Or do they? Or do they? Neural Parasite. He says, why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Says Dark. Trap's like, ow, stop it. Ow. Ow. A little bit of revenge there. 13 probes with the roaches. He's still got some alive for another run by. Well done, dude. Well done. That was actually really nice. Anyone else flailing in this situation? Dark is reestablishing these bases. He's trying to get these units up, and he's swapping the roaches out for Broodlords, which is a much better anti-disruptor unit. If Protoss doesn't add Tempests, they can't really pick off the Broodlords from far away. You do have to be careful, because there's a lot of Void Rays. Well, actually, there's only 4 Void Rays now. I was going to say, if there's still a lot of Void Rays, if you're not quick enough to fungal them, they can just go and kill your Broodlords in about 4 seconds, and you lose 10 Broodlords to like 10 Void Rays just like that, and you're like, oh, well, that's fucking unfair. So you really got to babysit them. But in this case, I mean, what is this? A pack of Stalkers? He built these units to defend roach counterattacks, and now he's like, I don't really want them. Can you please kill them for me? But he doesn't want to throw them away too inefficiently. The Broodlords are here, so they're going to start chipping at the Disruptors. Parasitic Bombs on the Void Rays, that was actually a bit overeager. This was a nice opportunity for some abducts, I think. Grab a carrier or two into the Queens. Dark is very low on money, so his big weakness right now is that he doesn't have Spore Crawlers. Without Spore Crawlers, he's really going to... He's got 13. I know, he's got some, but not many. In this style, you're on 5 bases, you're spread. He's going to have 1 or 2 spores in each fight. And because he's still got so much Roach Ravager supply, remember, trash supply. Very, very trash supply. The Ravagers can be worth their weight in gold if you, like, neural the carriers, hold them in place, and then corrosive bile them. If a very fancy scenario gets pulled off, they are okay. Remember, there's still 3 supply each. 10 Ravagers, 30 supply, 7 Roaches, another 14. That's 44 supply of trash. So you might think there's armies like, oh, supplies should be okay. It's only 12 queens. He needs a lot more spores. To get those spores, he needs more drones. But he is in constant threat of dying because the Protoss army is simply better. 9 carriers, 7 Void Rays. That's a good mixed air army. He needs parasitic bombs just to keep the Void Rays off his back. Leaves very little energy for abducting the carriers. He needs trying to use the Broodlords to keep back the Disruptors, but only 8 Broodlords. It's not a crazy number. They're not going to just evaporate this ground army. This is a very fragile engagement for Dark. Now, great parasitic bombs on the Void Rays on the left. Disruptors zoning out the ground army. The Broodlords are doing good, but the Queens are taking big damage. He needs Microbial. Microbial does go down. Transfuse is landing. Dark taking a pretty good fight here. He's killed all the Disruptors. The Queens, the Infestors coming in. Neurals? Does he get the Neurals? Oh, he's getting Fungals. He's landing some Biles on the Void Rays, but he hasn't managed to kill the carriers just yet. That being said, the Interceptor count's dropped down to just 25 Interceptors. Oh, unfortunately, he's not able to confirm the kills. That was an incredible defensive engagement from Dark, who's now chasing carriers with Ravagers because he is a fucking Chad. That's right. Dark is a guy running down the tarmac, throwing fucking baseballs at a fucking fighter trying to take off. He's like, get out of here, you dickhead. Yeah, run. Yeah, run, you fucking pussy. It's like, it's actually obscene. It's like when you watch those dudes throwing rocks at tanks and you're like, I get it. It's a symbolic like gesture. You're trying to fucking, you know, make a point. I don't know if it's very effective though. It's fucking crazy. His name's Dark. He's a Chad. Unfortunately, it's hard to defend multiple angles. No. Does he keep that alive? 50 hit points, 40 hit points, 30 hit points. He keeps it alive. It survives 30 hit points. Abducts on 2 carriers at the same time. Absolute Chad gamer made a Corruptor swap. He doesn't have that many Corruptors though. I don't know if this is enough. He's fungling the Interceptors, so they lose a lot of DPS. This is a great trade for Dark. Dude, the Void Rays come in. They need to be on the Corruptors. He's losing so many carriers. A good trade for Dark. Now remember, Trap has a better economy and more money. A single Roach is in there denying the gas. I think Trap senses that he's got some momentum and he wants to force the issue. Fungal though, and Queen still very powerful. There's a random DT in here as well. Dude, Dark is so hard to break. I was like, Trap's gonna show us how to break Dark's composition. Guys, Trap has a better, more expensive army. He has momentum. Dark has shit map control. Trap still can't kill him. Parting probably feels a lot better watching this, going, okay, it's not just me that struggles to kill this shit. Like, you're actually so good. Oh, you know he's running. Hey, get fucked! You know that's a parting. That's Dark Templar in parting form. You know, like, get fucked, no GG to that hatchery as he runs away. Jesus Christ, what an absolute shithead. Dark here, his economy's been just so scrapped on all game. He needs to remake Broods. He's got 5? That's too many Archons. 5 Broodlords won't cut it. Uh-oh. Dark is getting caught. without the right composition. He needs he needs like 7 more Broodlords. This is a big ground army. You want to have at least 8, probably 10, 12 Broodlords, because you've got to kill the Archons before you're able to even kill the Disruptors. So Trap might be able to just shove through right now, knowing that Dark is stretched so thin, and he's going to have trouble getting the right composition. Is that a Locust? Just gonna shovel some dirt on my head over here. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Random fucking Swarmost. Oh shit, this is what I'm talking about. There's not enough broods. He's got to disengage. He's got to disengage. No, not enough Broodlords. And Trap. Oh, he finishes it with a big old turkey slap. As I said, I mean, it's so hard to keep your composition just right. And we see that army is so countered by Disruptors. If he's ever caught without enough Broodlords to batter down the army from afar, then you can, and this is what happens when you're hanging out with those guys who you think they're your friends, but they're a little bit too jockey, you know? You're like, I think they're my friends when I have a beer with them, but all they do is call me a pussy and make fun of me. And then when we had that camping trip, I woke up with one of them turkey slapping me with his yeah, it wasn't. And then they laughed and said, it's just a joke, bro. Oh, I'll tell you, who doesn't think that's a joke. That's dark, man. Oh, that's a painful one. All of his infestors gone, half of his queens. And like I said, so with this army, you need like enough Broodlords, and you need to kind of kite backwards and like land fungals on them a bit further back. A moment of inattention there for Dark. So ideally, the thing is, because Dark's vision is so pushed back, he needed to start fungling this army here to slow it down and start stutter stepping his Broodlords back, so that by the time it gets to here, you've been able to dodge a few disruptor shots by falling back with your army, dropping corrosive biles, and your Broodlords have killed most of the Archons, so you can start working on the disruptors. There's only 3 disruptors in here. But this is actually a really just you know, good game sense from Trap to realize he had the unit advantage at this point. And yeah, Dark was he was distracted by these zealots, and he looks back and he's like, oh, where the fuck did this army come from? And it's even slower warning of it. So go to Dark's vision. He actually gets even later warning of this because of the mothership. So if you look at his vision, he's not looking at this screen, of course, but we're going to see a big blur enter, and he won't even see a minimap thing because he doesn't have detection out there, right? See? So he gets much later warning of these units coming in than he otherwise would because of the mothership. And then that creates another problem where he's like, shit, wait, oh, I need more detection as well. And it's like he does a good scramble, like fungals, parasitic bombs. You know, he makes the best of a bad situation, but you've got to have constant checking on their army. His army was great if it was just air units, but with the addition of all that ground stuff, Trap finds him off balance and finishes it off. GG, well played, Trap. Hats off to Dark, though, for an epic Game 3. Really, really good fight from behind. Absolutely awesome scrap. GG's.